Nigeria, a nation grappling with numerous challenges, found itself facing yet another crisis in March 2025. This time, the epicenter was Rivers State, a region known for its oil wealth and volatile politics. For weeks, tensions had been escalating, fueled by a toxic mix of militant activity and political infighting. Pipeline vandalism, a persistent problem, had reached alarming levels. The Trans-Niger Pipeline, a crucial artery in Nigeria's oil infrastructure, was ablaze after a devastating explosion. The situation was dire. The economic implications were severe, with oil production and revenue taking a significant hit. But it wasn't just the economy that was suffering. National security was also at stake. Militant groups, emboldened by their success in disrupting oil operations, posed a growing threat to peace and stability in the region. Amidst this chaos, the political landscape of Rivers State was imploding. The People's Democratic Party, which had long held sway in the state, was embroiled in a bitter internal power struggle. Factions within the party were at each other's throats, with accusations and counter-accusations flying thick and fast. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, caught in the crossfire, faced mounting pressure from within his own party. Rumors of impeachment swirled, further deepening the political abyss. It was against this backdrop of chaos and uncertainty that President Bola Tinubu made his move. On March 18, 2025, President Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers State. The decision, as dramatic as it was unexpected, sent shockwaves through the nation. It was a bold gamble, a high-stakes move by the president to assert control over a state teetering on the brink. President Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency was not merely a symbolic gesture, it was a decisive action with far-reaching implications. With a stroke of a pen, he suspended Governor Fubara, his deputy, and the entire state legislature. Rivers State was effectively placed under the direct control of the federal government. To oversee the day-to-day affairs of the state, Tinubu appointed a caretaker administrator. Retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ite Ibas, a seasoned military officer known for his no-nonsense approach, was tasked with restoring order and stability. The federal intervention was swift and comprehensive. Security forces were deployed in force to quell the unrest and secure critical infrastructure. The military and police were given sweeping powers to maintain law and order. Checkpoints were set up, patrols were intensified, and a dusk-to-dawn curfew was imposed in several areas. Tinubu's actions were met with mixed reactions. Supporters lauded him for taking decisive action to address a crisis that had spiraled out of control. They argued that the state of emergency was necessary to restore law and order, protect lives and property, and safeguard the nation's economic interests. Critics, however, condemned the move as an assault on democracy and an attempt by the federal government to stifle dissent. They accused Tinubu of exploiting the crisis to consolidate power and undermine the autonomy of Rivers State. The political fallout from the state of emergency was immediate and intense. The PDP, already fractured by internal strife, found itself in open revolt. Party leaders denounced Tinubu's actions as a coup against democracy and vowed to challenge them in court. They accused the president of using the pretext of pipeline vandalism and security concerns to sideline the opposition and install a puppet regime in Rivers State. The party's national chairman, Iyorkia Ayu, called for calm and urged PDP members to remain resolute in the face of adversity. The suspended governor, Siminalayi Fubara, maintained his innocence and insisted that he was the victim of a political witch hunt. He accused Tinubu of orchestrating the crisis to remove him from office and install a more pliable figurehead. The political turmoil in Rivers State had national implications. The state, with its vast oil reserves, was a political and economic powerhouse. The outcome of the crisis would have far-reaching consequences for the balance of power in Nigeria. As the dust settled on the initial shock of the state of emergency, Nigerians were left grappling with the implications of Tinubu's actions. The future of Rivers State, and indeed of Nigeria's democracy, hung in the balance. The legal challenges mounted by the PDP were making their way through the courts. The judiciary, often seen as the last bastion of hope in times of political crisis, was under intense scrutiny. The nation held its breath, waiting to see whether the rule of law would prevail. Meanwhile, in Rivers State, life under federal intervention continued. Caretaker Administrator Ibas, faced with the daunting task of restoring order and stability, moved quickly to assert his authority. He dissolved the State Executive Council, suspended all political appointees, and imposed a strict code of conduct on civil servants. The international community was watching closely, concerned about the potential for further instability in a region already grappling with numerous challenges. The United States, the United Kingdom, and the European Union issued statements urging all parties to exercise restraint and engage in dialogue. The state of emergency in Rivers State was a watershed moment in Nigeria's history. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of democracy and the ever-present threat of instability. Only time would tell whether Tinubu's gamble would pay off or whether it would plunge the nation into further turmoil.